The other prestige friendly at Wembley, England against Brazil. First time out for Dorival Jr. And first international goal for Endrick, just minutes into his debut.
Incredible 17-year-old. I mean, the youngest to score since Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo, R9. Incredible. He should probably even have scored a second right at the end. Maybe he was still too excited and too happy by the goal that he scored. Very opportunistic way. I don't think he will score a simpler goal in his international career because the shot by Vini is like kind of parried onto him by Pickford. I thought Brazil were really good, I have to say. Considering it was a mixed team because of all the players out for Dorival Jr. It was his first game in charge. They could have scored 3-4 goals. They hit the post. They had big chances that they missed. And they actually didn't concede much defensively. So I was really, really happy for them.
Yeah, I thought defensively they held up really well.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, and it's not just that there was no Harry Kane. Obviously, Watkins isn't, I think we can say this, won't be offended, isn't the goal scorer that Harry Kane is. But, and also doesn't have the characteristics of a Harry Kane. And I do wonder about that a little bit in the sense that the Harry Kane dropping off, which I think he does more for England. Well, he does it quite a bit for Bayern now too in certain situations. But if you replace him with a guy who's not going to do that because that's not his skill set, you need to make adjustments. And now I just wonder.
Is that the Bellingham in number 10 adjustment, would you say? So you play higher up the pitch?
Yeah, you. I mean, you always have, just because your patterns of play are going to be different. If you know there's never the threat. Like if I'm the center back picking up Watkins, I know that if he decides to drop off, I'm like, okay, I can pass him on easily to a defensive midfielder, for example, because I know that, hey, all right, you want the ball between the lines, Watkins? Fine. You're not going to do anything with it. Yeah. Or you're not going to do the damage that Harry Kane can do, right?
Yeah.
Which converts at the same time. Obviously, I'm going to be much more engaged in delivering the ball behind. The wingers as well, the people who feed the ball behind, if Watkins is there, Harry Kane, not saying he's slow, but like needs a certain type of ball for him to be able to use his strength to get to it if you're gonna play the ball behind. Watkins obviously, has more acceleration than Kane does. So it's these little tweaks, and I do wonder a tiny bit. It looks like in the next game we're gonna have Ivan Toney, whose skill set is again very different from both Kane and Watkins. He's going to play against Belgium. I'm just wondering if this is something that Southgate can be dealing with, should be dealing with.
Yeah, I guess he needs to make a selection anyway for the Euros. He can't take Watkins, Toney and Kane, so he has to choose. There's other positions, I think, where there's also question marks.
Why can't he take 3 forwards?
3 for a system where you play just with one up front seems a bit luxurious.
I would suggest, actually, that especially with the 5 substitutions and with 26 people, I think you have to take 3 center forwards.
Okay, maybe. Yeah.
Over 7 games, because you get 1 injury or 1 suspension, which over 7 games is entirely possible, right?
Yeah, I mean, with Rashford in the squad as well, I'd be surprised if
Rashford, who's so effective down the middle, and
no, it's not the point. But if he's to play 5 minutes there or there, I would keep a place for another position than having 3 number 9s.
One more attacking midfielder that he's not going to play in favor of defensive midfielders.
Or maybe defensively, because defensively clearly seems the issue. I mean, I thought they were all over the place. I mean, John Stones plays in a way for his club that is obviously very different for the national team, and I think he struggles to play in that team because they have zero structure defensively or offensively. Maguire
zero structure.
I think it's catastrophe. It's really a catastrophe. And Maguire should go on holidays instead of going to Germany, or he can go in Germany on holidays if he wants to, but not at the Euros. And then I said it, I will say, and I tweeted it on Saturday night, that Phil Foden never touched the ball in 90 minutes in the Brazilian box is baffling to me. I found that ridiculous.
He didn't touch the ball very much at the last Euros either, did he?
I just don't understand how your most informed player can be not put in the right environment to take your team and impact the game. And for me, that's all on Southgate. But you know I don't like Southgate. So I was just not surprised by anything I saw on Saturday. And Belgium are not really good at the moment. We saw against Ireland. I still think that it would be tricky for England against them on Tuesday.
Final word on Southgate. He was asked, I think it was before the Brazil game, he was asked about rumors linking him to Manchester United. He said that look, he would be really, really disrespectful for him to talk, blah, blah, blah. He's got a contract. He's like, I've never talked to another club while I've been under contract, which I got to say, like, yeah, maybe you haven't because you've only had 2 jobs in your entire life.
Yeah.
But it is pretty freaking normal for people.
Exactly,
I'm sure.
and he's been contacted already. It's just like,
I understand why he said that. What I'm curious about, though, his contract isn't up at the end of the Euros. His contract is up
December.
in December. Why?
Have they done it just the end of the calendar year? Maybe, which a few do, to be fair. I think Deschamps' contract goes to maybe December 2026. Maybe it's easier when it's with the federation that it's not a season. I don't know. It's a good question.
It seems like a natural break to do it.
It's
Either you do the thing that they always do in the past, where just before the tournament they extend it for another 2 years. The old Fabio Capello trick. Otherwise, it just seems a little odd. But Gareth, we like you. I think people would understand if you did get a call from Manchester United. I don't know if you did. I think a lot of United fans probably would be very split on Gareth Southgate. It's okay to say, look, I'm not going to talk about it. I have a contract until this day. But don't go down the whole respect route, especially because it comes and bites you in the backside. If somebody comes out and says, oh, yeah, I spoke to Gareth Southgate's lawyer or agent representative on behalf of Manchester United, then you kind of look like a tool.
Yeah.
And you shouldn't.